Yo, what's good, everyone? It's your boy JTL, and this is another Red Pill. Respectfully, make sure y'all subscribe and hit that notification bell. All right, so I saw this on MTR, Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews, and also O'Shea Do Jackson YouTube channel. And I gotta say, MTR, man, you missed the mark. Shout out to you, brother, but you missed the mark. I'm glad I watched O'Shea's version too, because he picked up some things that I think you should have picked up on, my brother. So let's go ahead and get into this interview with the Essence interview with Ayana Fix My Life on the Instagram channel.
Back in 2013, I interviewed you when I worked with Madame Noir. Okay. And we had, a viral moment. We talked about Black women and boundaries, and you said we were out of order.
We're still out of order.
I'm like, you're not even going to let me set up the question. You said, well, tell me, you said if we understood who we were, we would not let other people define us and confine us. And that you said we're demeaned, diminished, demoralizing ways we accommodate. Tell us why you say we're still out of order.
I think now because we get paid to be out of order now.
Okay.
Some of the images that we allow to be portrayed of us, some of the ways that we behave and treat each other publicly.
Yeah.
And we've made a lot of progress. I want to look at the sweet spots also. I mean, we've got a woman of color in the White House. Yeah. We've got women of color in Congress, everywhere. I think on the personal level, down on the ground, we still need to do some work. And I don't blame us. Mm-hmm. I just say that the way we've been...
Okay, so that's the first thing MTR mentioned. She said, I don't blame us. And O'Shea was like, that's the problem, no accountability. That's a huge problem. How do you say you don't blame us? And O'Shea brought out some great perspectives. He was talking about how can you say you don't blame us, but you had Lisa Ray on the show. She had some issues, and you told her she needed to check herself. But then you got the Queens of Cocktails or whatever that show with Vivica Fox, Selena Johnson, Claudia Jordan, Lisa Ray. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all these sisters on this show, and if y'all go back and watch either my version or you watch O'Shea's version or Kevin Samuels' version, we all pointed out the fact that, sadly, these sisters was going in on Ice Cube talking about he's choosing Trump, and he said, I never chose Trump. In fact, to me, they're all the same. And then what they did, no, you can't say that about white people. He was like, no, I'm talking about the presidents. Every president that came in, our situations are still the same in a lot of instances. Our situation with the wealth gap is still the same. And even with him saying all of what he said, go back and watch it. Watch the interview, then watch Kevin Samuels, watch, O'Shea Do Jackson version. A couple of brothers made something from the Manosphere about it. Even after all Cube said, at the end, Claudia Jordan still said, we ride with you, but we just not cool with who you're rocking with. And he like, I just told you once again, I'm not rocking with Trump. I wanted the Democrats to jump all over this when I put out the contract with Black America. And they still didn't. And then their excuse, all the sisters, we're not in power yet. And he was like, what does that matter? Presidential presidential campaign runners make promises all the time. So if they make a promise and they don't keep it, the world gets to see that they lie. And he felt like that's why, basically, in my opinion, he felt like that's why they didn't talk to him. That's why they didn't make, a promise that they would have to keep up in front of everybody. But then you see the sisters, ain't nothing in there for black women. He like, well, it's for black people. Don't they include black women? No. And he was like, all right, well, y'all free to come through, help me write something. No, you need to write it. And he was like, okay, so I'm going to write something for black women. What you want me to put in there? He was like, see, that's what I'm saying. That's my point. Don't nobody want to help me. They just want to go ahead and critique me and talk bad about me, but don't nobody want to help me. And I felt Q got in over his head, and it's sad. But you don't blame us. You don't blame the women. No accountability. Let's see what else she says.
Conditioned and programmed and educated doesn't afford us the ability to really tap into and live fully who we are. And then we engage in bad behavior, just bad behavior.
Now, what you said at the time, I think you said something about Boo Boo with no paycheck, dealing with him crying and running by.
Now, watch what she says about us brothers. You don't blame the sisters, but watch what she says about the brothers, though.
You know, you know, this is hard. It's hard because it's, I love us. And so I want to fully step into my role as an elder and be able to say things that you may not like, but you will at least respect. And the way we are moving in the world, it's time for us to close our legs. Close your legs, open your heart. Let's get clear.
Now, at least she did say that to the sisters. I'll give her that.
Before we keep making the same mistakes over and over and over. Because the men are, they're you know, they're trying to get themselves together. And we are so far ahead of them, but we don't really occupy themselves. And so we keep getting in these transient relationships.
Now, notice what she just said. They're so far ahead of us. Okay, if that's so true, then why are sisters also complaining about the pay wage gap? Why are sisters still complaining that we making more money than them but not treating them right? If they're so far ahead of us, you gotta understand something, and I'm gonna make a show about this. Black men are still out earning black women. Black men still have more businesses than black women, but they're so ahead of us. And she's not pointing out their attitudes towards us and the good brothers that are out there. This is the problem that we have. I try to have a lot of respect for Iyanla, but it's like she still is saying the same thing a lot of other black women are saying. And yeah, we do have a lot of brothers that need to do better, but we got so many brothers that are. I was working for a program, my mentor, who, you know what I'm saying, taught me knowledge about working with at-risk youth and doing things in the community. A lot of these brothers don't get no respect. We're still just, the black women just kicking our black man behinds and we're doing nothing. And it's like, that's not necessarily true. So this brother started a program, incorporated sisters as well, women too, and brothers, and we're dealing with at-risk youth, you know, teaching them about real estate, instead of, you know, them just looking at the jewelry that they want to look fly and fresh. We taught them how to make it. Hey, you could be 15, 16 years old, shoot, even 13, 14 years old, learning how to make all the fly jewelry that people buy. Our program was teaching these young brothers how to make jewelry. Instead of them going to spend thousands of dollars on it, they can make thousands or hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars making and selling the jewelry. Real estate, trades, getting scholarships. This is something that was made by two brothers. Shout out to Mr. Murphy. Shout out to Mr. Harris. Two brothers. One brother from New Jersey, one brother from Georgia. Down here in St. Petersburg, Florida. But we don't get no love. Shout out to Mr. Brayboy. Brother owns like 4 different businesses on one block. But we don't give them no love and no respect. But they're so ahead of us. Even though they do things and they implemented young brothers and young sisters. But they're so far ahead of us. So close your legs and open your heart. But what are you, the money? That's what you boiled it down to? The money? No, sisters are not totally far ahead of brothers like that right now. We need to be healing and not worry about relationships like that, especially when it comes to money. But let her finish the rest up.
Bringing children in when we're unprepared, they're unprepared. The number of children in foster care, the number of children in just difficult situations. And I know what it's like to start out and think everything's going to go well. And then a year, 2 years in, you're like, okay, what happened? So we've got to be a little more prepared on the front end, so we don't have such difficulty on the black end, on the black back end.
Right.
And I say that because I love us and I love children, and I just want us to do better and be better.
Well, lastly, I know you said you don't have to know what's next or, anything.
All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. Iyanla, she's a black woman, so I expect her to stand up for sisters. This is why brothers in the black manosphere, we've been making videos on this, because a lot of us don't get it. No matter what we do or how good or how great we move along and move the culture forward, we're still getting the blunt of the blame. You saw what she said in the beginning. I don't blame us. But then when it comes to brothers, you say what? That we ain't got ourselves together. Women need to stop having babies with us because we're not ready. They're just not ready emotionally. That's it. No, they're not ready because the attitude-wise also looking down on us. You let white zaddy make you think that you're better than us and separate us. She don't speak about that. She didn't speak about that. You didn't speak about the fact that sisters, are complaining so much, but at least she said they're making the wrong choices. But to sit there, like she said, the lady right here, Brandy Victorian, said, boo-boo with no paycheck. So that's all you're equating all black men to, and that's what ticks me off. She didn't say certain black men with no paychecks. She didn't say certain black men are not ready. Sisters need to stop picking certain black men. No, she said black men. Oh, they're trying to get themselves together. That's it? All of us? Not all of us are in prison. Like Kevin Samuels always say, it's a lie. Not all brothers are in prison. So let's say the numbers around, because I think it's like around 2 million people in prison now. Almost 800,000 brothers, 800,000 brothers in prison. That's a lot. But what about the other 40-something black people that are men and women that are not in prison? What about the other 19 million brothers? Let's say it's 20 million brothers, 26 million sisters. What about the other 19 million brothers that ain't in prison? So you mean to tell me all 19 brothers ain't working? I'm working. I own my own business. My people's working. My brother's working. A lot of brothers I know got their own businesses. They employ their own family. But you mean to tell me we gonna sit here and act like all brothers just trying to get themselves together and there's no successful brother? All these, look at Master P, look at Dame Dash. They still entrepreneurs. They still independent workers. Business owners. My apologies. They still independent business owners. And they still have to explain themselves to the community about what they've been saying since day one. P been talking about independence since day one. Dame Dash has been talking about independence since day one. And we still got to explain ourselves. It ain't the brothers, it's the sisters. It's a lot of the sisters who don't get it, because the real sisters who get it are not always out there in the front. So like I always say, shout out to Pink Book Lessons. Shout out to Real Reality Talk, that sister. Shout out to Jessica X over there in the UK, that sister. You got sisters out there, a few, Avery Woodland. You know what I'm saying? I said her name wrong last time, apologize, but Avery Woodland. You got sisters out there finally coming into understanding and talking, beautiful sisters that they look like, the sisters that y'all might think is wrong, but they're not. They speaking truth and speaking up for us, but it's not enough. We need more sisters like this. So I'm always shout them out, and more sisters to come to the light, God will, I'm gonna shout them out as well. But it sickens me that every time we turn around, it just, women is kicking, black women kicking black men behind. Black men need to get their ass together, and sisters just, be a little nicer. That's it. I'm glad she said, sisters, close your legs. I'm glad you said that. But stop being a B2. Stop spouting off of the mouth. Stop putting your brothers down. Stop choosing the white man over your brothers and then want to put us down. Because a lot of us don't want to marry outside our race. Like me and my partner, we want our sisters, but they don't never give us no credit. So that's why we need the Black Red Pill experience. Believe that. This your boy JTL. Make sure y'all go ahead, hit that notification bell. Well, subscribe, then hit the notification bell, man. We gonna keep coming back, man. We on y'all heads. Y'all ain't finna keep doing our brothers like that. Nah. We out here doing too much work for y'all to not acknowledge it, so we gonna acknowledge it. So shout out to all y'all brothers, man. Keep striving, keep progressing.